in ancient China of the Han Dynasty. He was a man who was so genius that he was way ahead of his time, yet his simplicity made him the wisest of everyone. His amazing IQ was compared to that of Chanakya in India. He was known as the sleeping dragon, whose company was of the highest honor. He was a famous statesman, ideologist, strategist, and ingenious inventor during the Three Kingdom period. Zhuge Liang, also known as Kongming, was born into an official family in Yunnan County. He was born in a turbulent time in 181. This was a time of natural disasters and calamities, regional conflicts, and political crises. There were frequent assassinations and open conflicts between rival ruling groups and the dynasty people of court. In Hubei, he and his brothers and sisters all lived with his uncle, who was a local officer. His uncle passed away a few years later, and a 16-year-old Zhuge Liang began to live on his own. He was an orphan. He farmed during the day and he studied at night. It is said that he developed close friendship with the local educated people. Through study and astute observation, he was not only an expert in astronomy and geography, but also mastered the military strategy and tactics and carefully analyzed the political situations with great pleasure. He devoted his life to his monarch Liu Bei and to the existence of the Shu dynasty. But it was not easy. Zhuge Liang was said to be a genius, but he liked to live alone as a recluse within the natural habitat of the forest. Lord Liu Bei paid 3 visits to the thatched cottage of Zhuge Liang, asking for his assistance. Zhuge Liang was very particular about his company, and therefore Liu Bei had to swallow his pride before Zhuge Liang. The host told the guest that you can unify this kingdom only with a kind heart and benevolence. For generations now, Lord Liu Bei is the only man of benevolence and righteousness in the whole of 3 kingdoms. Zhuge Liang understood that in the very first meeting, and that is why he agreed to follow him. Some amazing facts about Zhuge Liang. He was a mechanical and mathematical genius. He invented the wooden ox, which is more like a wheelbarrow, purposely allowed a single man to transport enough food. This allowed for feeding a large group of armies in the field. Zhuge Liang is credited with inventing a bow for shooting several arrows at once and with perfecting the 8 dispositions, which is a series of military tactics. Zhuge Liang is always said to carry a beautiful feathered fan in order to remind himself not to waste his time and ruin his studies. Zhuge Liang made a fan with the tail feathers of a crane, and he brought the fan with him as a lesson learned. This lesson was given to him by his Taoist teacher. Zhuge Liang had a challenging life. Due to his intelligence, a lot of enemies tried to provoke him. Once, Zhao Yu, the chief military commander of the Wu kingdom, ordered Zhuge Liang to produce at least 100,000 arrows within 10 days. To his surprise, Zhuge Liang said that he would produce the arrows within 3 days. He also agreed to be punished if he failed to complete the order. 2 days nothing happened, so the enemies thought this is just hoax. But on the 3rd day, Zhuge Liang took twins with himself towards the enemy's side of the river. There was too much fog and nothing could be seen. But on the boat there were several scarecrows. Suddenly he ordered to beat the drums and fake an attack. Likewise, the enemy flooded the boats with more than 100,000 arrows. All got stuck into the scarecrows. Zhuge Liang got what he wanted. Another incident is the empty fort strategy and the art of manipulation. As there was less time to protect the kingdom, Zhuge Liang ordered all the gates to be opened and had civilians sweeping the roads while he sat high up on the gates calmly playing his zither with two children beside him. When the Chao Wei commander and strategist Sima Wei approached, they saw all this, puzzled by the scene, and knowing the intelligence of Zhuge Liang, he ordered his troops to retreat at once. Zhuge Liang later told that the strategy only worked because Sima Yi was a man of suspicion. Zhuge Liang was very smart and very handsome. It was very hard to find a pretty and witty girl for him. Therefore, given the option, he chose a witty wife instead of a pretty one. Zhuge Liang acted as the legal father of Liu Shan, his warlord Liu Bei's son. Till his last breath, he entrusted all his knowledge to Liu Shan, and he fell seriously ill and eventually died in the camp at the very age of 53. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, then please do not forget to like it, subscribe it, and of course comment on it, and let me know if there is more to it. Thank you so much. See you next time.